Say. So do I even need to mallet it in because we do? The Economic Development Committee meeting is now in session. This is for Tuesday, August 5th, 2025. We do not have a quorum, so we will not be doing any voting, but we're just going to have a nice discussion here. And what else? I guess that's it for that. And we have a visitor.
Ken Moore.
Ken Moore.
Q3890 was not ready to go.
Yes, and Ken, are you the chair of the planning commission?
No, Sean.
Sean.
Chair.
Okay.
I was the chair, now he's the chair.
Okay, congratulations on
Okay.
that.
I don't have to behave nearly as well.
Oh, that's good. That's good. And then, so have you guys met?
No.
Okay.
I can't.
Dustin,
Dustin.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
so.
I live in, down Yamhill proper. I don't know what you'd call it. Right off of, it's on Quinn Street, but basically right where the hazelnuts are in this little area. And then I run a business, I run a catering company in McMinnville called Biscuit and Pickles. So live here, work there kind of thing.
Yeah, we're glad to have him on the committee.
Yeah.
To see things happen. So, what we were going to be doing then, so we have public comment, reviewing, we don't have minutes from the last meeting because there wasn't a last meeting in June. And then, unfinished business, so the EDC committee recruitment. Okay, Angie, can you speak to where we are with that?
So with the EDC committee recruitment, the issue that we had with it is that the original resolution for the Economic Development Committee was very stringent on which what everybody needs to do to be a member. So we had one at large, we had one in-city resident, one downtown business owner, one YDA representative. So all of those were limiting the amount of applications that we could receive. So I updated that resolution to broaden the amount of people that could apply. Took it through council, they approved it. I just don't have a signature from the mayor as of yet. So once that's gone through, then we will have the ability to have more people that can apply, and then we need to get that advertised and going to get more people to come in for the committee.
Thanks for running that through.
Yeah, and you made, I'm assuming you just made it more broad.
It's just
Like
residents.
Yeah, perfect.
Versus.
Okay.
Yes.
Gotcha.
And then the at-large member, so that Philip Higgins had.
Yeah.
I've got somebody who's interested, who's on the
Perfect.
Yamhill Downtown Association, so I'm
Sweet.
hoping that she can actually follow through with that and make it happen. So if she's interested, but that would be an at-large member.
Perfect.
Okay, so what we talked about, so at our work session then, last week with the joint collaboration of City Council, Planning Commission, and EDC, we were identifying areas of alignment, and it seems like everybody all is on the same page with the same goals, but and even with the Yamhill Downtown Association, like our goals are in line with
Perfect.
these. And so what we're doing now is, what's great is City Council had already come up with these multi-pages of identified goals, and then they kind of started to get them organized and decide like who from City Council or from Planning Commission would want to collaborate and be on. So it's kind of like a nice cross-pollination. And so it was determined that our priorities for the Economic Development Committee, beautification of downtown, and authentic Yamhill as sort of the reaching themes. These, we could kind of condense these into one page, one checklist for our tasks.
Cool.
And then Ken's here as the Planning Commission representative to kind of help with that collaboration. And what kind of came up for this immediate discussion was trees. So trees in downtown and Christmas lights. And because currently the Yamhill Downtown Association is behind like the lights that go in seasonally. And that is, we outsource that to C&D Landscaping, and so that we've used them for a number of years. I was not part of the YDA when they first lined up that contract, but got some more information from my cohorts on the Downtown Association, and then we just got the bid or the the estimate, the bid for this year's lights.
Light hanging.
Yeah, and then Tim Askey from City Council, he is the lights delegate, and so we met yesterday to kind of go through, he wanted some more background on what we've done, so I shared that with him and we were discussing like, what if he's gonna do some research on the city or, purchasing lights that can then be
Stored somewhere.
and
Yeah.
raised by volunteers. And so then I talked to Anita Borges, who's on the Yamhill Downtown Association, who owns the brick building down at the corner. And she said that when they first determined this company for the lights, like she and Kara Weber had looked into lights, looked
Yeah.
into all that and kind of like ran the numbers and then considered the storage and the maintenance and all that. And it was just like, it just was.
Yeah, I don't know how you
There.
have the issue with volunteers is how do you, like, I'm assuming somebody has to be on a scissor lift at some point,
Yeah.
right? Like, which you're
Yeah.
now somewhat covered by the city
Yeah.
or something,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
which sounds like a somewhat nightmare of logistics,
Yeah,
of insurance that I'm not, I mean, I'm not sure how volunteer work works, but.
Yeah.
We do have a volunteer tracking that we have to do with people. I think there's some people that have done work like
Yeah,
like lumber from the park or something that have to sign a sheet, basically a waiver.
okay, yeah, which would be great, yeah, I mean. And then did anybody talk about where everybody wants to plant trees? I love trees, just,
so there's lots of excitement about that, and our mayor is really on board, but I guess Ken, you can speak to that, or you guys can both speak to that. That was a very hot topic.
where to put said trees.
Yeah. So, and then just to button up the lights thing, so Tim is gonna do some research this week on pricing and he was gonna talk to Jason about utilizing Public Works for light installation, but of course, like the budget, like there's just.
Right, that's where we get into a pickle when we start doing that is then these
Yes.
guys have to pick up the slack. and-
Yes, yeah, and so. He's gonna research and then we're gonna come back together until
Okay.
tomorrow. But I can imagine that probably the best thing is to just stick with the current plan with that contract. However, the YDA funds most of this with some donations, like from the Umpqua Bank pays for theirs. Anita pays for hers on her building. So there's the city has given, I think it was like 500 last year. And I don't think, or the previous year, 2 years ago, and I don't know that money was.
I'm not sure if it's in the budget
designated
this
that.
year or not.
Yeah, so anyway, but otherwise then we do bingo to try to raise funds for that, so. Anyway, so if there are other ideas to raise money, and that's something we want to think about too. That's what Tim had some ideas on, t-shirt sales and miscellaneous stuff, so. Okay. So,
What would the t-shirts say? Would they just
Keep
have
it
like
Yamhill.
that? Yeah, or that logo, like
yeah. Yeah,
In a
so
cool-
something, yeah.
penciled font or something.
Mhm. Yeah, like lots of ideas.
Yeah, all right,
So,
cool.
yeah, so things just to kind of like share the love and, get some community involvement too for that.
So those were the two main things, basically, the authentic Yamhill and then the beautification.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Okay, so then the lights then would be the other, or excuse me, trees. So Ken,
I can speak to what I remember about trees.
trees.
It's a big budget commitment for the future.
Yeah.
It seems to be there's a cycle of you plant a tree, it grows, you dig it up before it breaks the sidewalk and put in a new one, where you dig it up after the sidewalk, breaks the sidewalk, fix the sidewalk, and talk about putting in another one, because you just paid to fix the sidewalk. A way out of that, part of that cycle is boxes, these big cement boxes that can hold a tree from blowing over, was just an idea. You see that in various towns. I think it's a way to get out of that problem. But still, there's gonna be trimming them, the leaves and the maintenance, and you have to think a lot about what that's gonna cost and who's gonna do it. And that's all I have to say about trees.
Okay,
Yeah, do we know what McMinnville's doing? Their downtown is being beautified, I think, by the city too, as opposed to the MCA or the MDA.
mhm.
But they're like changing up. Oh, cool. Oh, yes, I know. Yeah. Those are fun. And they might be doing the same thing, but I know they're like redoing their sidewalks and then
Oh, yeah.
still having like they're cutting down all the current trees because they've done exactly what Ken said, is basically ruin the sidewalks. And then they're fixing the sidewalks and I think maybe doing it like that or something, but
What's one piece about that I forgot? The mayor mentioned metal baskets that go in the ground.
yes.
Contain the.
And I think maybe that's what Mac is doing. It's
Yeah.
something okay. Cause they had said they figured out whomever they consulted had figured out how to not break the sidewalk and let the tree grow.
The mayor said the good ones are really expensive.
Oh, I'm
And
sure.
the cheap ones are not, but I guess they don't work.
Yeah.
Mhm. I'm wondering about if we're doing the transportation grant application for the,
I'm
So-
hoping that's something that in the TGM, they can include in the plan, in their TSB plan, which would be sidewalks and that type of stuff. So I'm
Mhm.
hoping that that will be included
Mhm.
in the plan.
Yeah.
Um,
So is it sort of like until that is done, like what's the cycle on that? So the grant application, did Walt get that in?
Yes, it was just submitted 5 days ago.
Okay.
So I don't know when we find out. I don't have the date in my head. But once we know that, then we would go through the process a lot, like, I think there's consultants and they're through ODOT and DLCD, that they have their own consultants that will come in and have you help us along like we did with our legislative amendments.
Mhm.
Having an outside consultant come in and
Mhm.
help us through all those meetings with the public to find out what everybody in town wants.
Mhm. Yeah, so it seems like until that is done, we can't really, like,
I mean, we can do research on what trees or what boxes we think
Yeah.
are best.
Okay,
but-
yeah.
And that, having that in your transportation plan is gonna be something that would help you get grant money for
Okay, so
these projects in the
pre-identify.
future.
Okay.
If your plan says it, then it helps with the grant.
okay, good, okay. And then Shay he was very big on the research too, on the types of trees and ideas. It sounded like he was gangbusters on that, I think. So he had lots of ideas and enthusiasm
Sweet.
too. So
That's great.
I'm wondering then, if there's anything else then right now, we need to divvy up, or Ken, if you're interested in working with, oh, look who's here. Welcome.
Chief, I'm sorry.
All right.
It's one of those kind of days, you know? I was here actually at 3 o'clock and I spaced what I was supposed to do.
Oh,
So I put all the stuff in for my booth
Oh,
and I'm driving to the park and I'm going,
uh-huh.
wait a minute, what am I forgetting?
Okay, well, welcome. We are starting from now. Angie, do we rewind slightly at all? I think we.
So I noted that he arrived at 3:25 PM. We just kind of been talking about what we discussed in the meeting that you attended with the work session.
Well, sure.
And we haven't done anything on the agenda really, unless part of that is on. the
It's kind of on it, just new business.
Yeah,
We've already chatted about recruitment, which
yeah,
was,
yeah, so we're on to the new business.
Yeah.
So we're going through, and then also to rewind slightly too with the minutes, Angie and I spoke the other day I guess that was yesterday. Anyway, that minutes, because it's recorded, you don't have to take minutes, right?
Correct. It's not required to have written minutes for the
Really?
meeting. Yeah.
Look at that.
Well, then how do we?
Right off the block.
So we don't review the minutes?
We would not have that on the agenda. I'm not sure when Shelley started, she was doing the agendas previously.
Yeah.
So I don't know how that got on the agendas or not, but it's not necessary to review.
Oh, I
the
thought
minutes.
everybody had to review their minutes. Oh, okay. Well,
That's awesome.
that's fine for me.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah,
One less thing I gotta do.
yeah, okay. Good, so we can take that off the next one.
Yeah. thank you.
Okay. So going through then, yes, we were talking about combining our two, the beautification and the authentic Yamhill. So prioritizing the goals for those two things.
Right,
And,
right.
we kind of started with reviewing the Christmas lights, scenario. And just Tim's doing some research on purchasing lights, but we also have the new bid from Senior Landscaping, so I can fill you in on that. So that's,
And I can't call you Chairman Moore anymore, so are you Secretary Moore now?
What do they call them? Counselor, I'm on the,
Commissioner?
I'm a commissioner.
Vice
That's good enough.
chair, no, vice chair slash, or we have planning
I'm
commission.
I'm vice chair.
Yeah. Anyway, so you probably already welcomed him, but I wanted to acknowledge the fact that I didn't say anything to him when I walked past him, so good to see you. Yeah, thank you for being here too.
Okay, so, so with the. Okay, so I guess maybe with the beautification, and so going through these two topics.
Yeah,
So thinking about authentic Yamhill, what we were discussing at the meeting last week is that we wanted to have, again, like define what is authentic Yamhill and what do we want that to look
Totally.
like?
Right.
Okay,
Right.
and so there's the historic aspect, there's, what did they decide then too with the historic designation? I think they're just gonna go ahead and just
call it.
call it.
Yeah,
that. And so,
perfect.
yeah,
Yeah,
so there's
Yeah.
that,
yeah.
okay, researching what other small towns have done, so general template,
And we've done a lot of that in the past.
yeah,
And I can pull my notes from that. I mean, I've got minute meetings going clear back to what, 2 years?
yeah, but then, so with the authentic Yamhill and that, like that look, like it was discussed at the meeting, like we're not after Sisters Oregon with everything.
No, no.
Yeah, so just more like, okay, what? And Ken, please, add your 2 cents on this too, as far as.
Before he has a chance to say something, let me ask you too. Have you read the Song of Yamhill?
Yes,
No.
Okay, so you may want to do
Okay.
that because it has a lot of the history of Yamhill, so it gives you a thumbs nail or a idea as to what Yamhill used to be like and why it was even here, besides being a stage stop, which we all know it was, the only stage stop between Portland and the coast. But it had 5 hotels and it had a whole heck of a lot more people in it than it does today. Sorry, Mr. Norm, the floor is yours, sir.
Well, the planning commission could put something in the title 10 or 11, I'm not sure which it would be, about what you're talking about, saying what businesses need to comply with. So, but we probably aren't gonna be doing the research on that, so
Right,
this fact that you have notes of what you've already done, what other towns have done, and then you bring us this thing that you think is just right,
mhm,
and we go, great, we struggle to understand it, you explain it to us. Maybe a commissioner will say, what about this, what about that? Maybe there's some minor tweaks, and then we go, yeah, and then we give it to the city council. So that's what I'm hoping that you will bring to the planning commission.
Yeah, one of the things I was thinking of is for the look and feel, or as you call it, the authentic Jam Hill. We don't want any steel buildings. We don't want any heavily glass buildings. Those are what I imagine we don't want. So we don't wind up with any building that isn't looking like Yam Hill. Mostly what Yam Hill is made out of is wood. All except for now the new gas station and the old post office building, which has a brick facade, which it never did.
The bank and the city hall.
Yes, yeah.
Oh.
So, but mostly it's made out of wood and stucco, you
Yeah,
know,
but there's also, I will say, corrugated steel for
yes,
some of the agricultural buildings and the
absolutely,
fire department and the Quonset,
yep.
and perhaps the new coffee shop. that's
And don't
coming in.
forget, yeah, and don't forget, Mary's, which is the antique
Yeah.
shop, which used to be the granary.
Yeah,
That whole building is sheathed in, metal,
yeah, yeah.
and you know, that was what they had to build with back in the day, you know?
Yeah, I guess to me, it sounds like we need to brainstorm up like a commercial on some levels, and not saying we're doing a commercial, but like what is the authentic Yam Hill?
Yes,
And how do we present that to the planning commission to be like, hey, if we did film a commercial that was about tourism or whatever it is, what would we show? And then
Yeah.
what is that
Yeah.
in line of what we're doing, right? Like, what would you show in a commercial for that 30 seconds?
and everybody, all the pictures of historic downtown Yam Hill, the first place that they take a picture is Teeny,
Mhm.
Gotcha.
because it's 1907 or 1909.
That's what I mean, like that might help
Anyway,
focus our like
yeah.
thoughts of like, what is authentic Yam Hill? Sorry, all right, so if we think of what would you show in the 20 to 30 seconds? And then how do we make sure that that stays in a line of it?
Yeah.
I'll add too, and I think I've mentioned this previously, but when we did our Yam Hill Downtown Association kind of like branding discussions this fall, we
Mhm.
worked,
Yeah,
we
I
had.
would say that's like the same thing. Yeah.
And we went through, we had a brainstorming session, we did it here, it was like, okay, what do we want? And this is kind of about like the look, the feel. So not nitty gritty as far as like the building structures, but it's more like the essence and the motivation of
and those
people.
plaques that you guys got out.
Yeah.
In
so-
those barrels, you know?
Yeah, so what I can do is I can share that,
Yeah.
so we came up with a whole.
Cause that would probably help us
Package.
jumpstart this, and
Yes, 'cause
especially
that's a
Ken
definition.
saying, hey, you just need
Yeah.
to show us like the research that's done.
Yeah.
And then we can start that process of it. That might give us a
Yeah,
quick leg up on it.
so we read Song of Yam Hill,
Yep.
Right?
we go through that,
I think we also need to ask a few of the businesses. You know, especially businesses like T&E and especially businesses like the Larson House
yeah,
and the two new restaurants that have basically taken over their positions
Mhm.
and find out exactly if they were going to get some competition, what would it be and how would it look? You see what I'm saying?
yeah.
Because they've been here, I mean, how long has Bob owned T&E? You know, forever, as far as I know.
Mhm.
My wife's been here 43 years and he's been there ever since, so.
Ah,
So he's been owner of T&E probably for 50 years, and that's a pretty decent stint of work. But I'm sure he has an opinion, whether he would share it or not. He's really not one to put a foot forward regarding his thoughts. He likes to be low key and right under the radar. You know, when I approached him about the historic aspect of it and talked to him about changing his facade back to the way it was, you know. he had some trepidations about it, and of course, obviously he would, and I set all his fears to rest. But it took weeks for me to get that out of him, because he wasn't really, he really didn't want to discuss it, and he really didn't want to deal with it.
Mhm. So, a business owner.
Outreach.
Outreach and just input on
Yeah.
what, like work things together. I like how you described it.
Yeah, I
Looks
mean, hey,
creative.
if we were to do a commercial for Yamhill,
Commercial.
right?
Yeah.
What would you like to be featured? Like, would you
Yeah.
like this?
Right.
Like,
I like that.
and that way it just gives us a better focus of,
Yeah,
we don't have to think of the things that it's, so to me, it's the things that aren't here that we want and the things that were here that are gone, right?
Mhm.
It narrows that focus of like, no, what's actually here and how do we want to push that forward while being authentic to Yamhill and the past, present, future.
You should narrate the commercial.
I'll totally do
Your
that for
voice
you.
is very
Yeah,
like
I
TV guy voice.
got you. You get a
Yeah, you
commercial
got the
and
big
I'll do
voice
that
there.
for you. Yeah, don't you worry.
And you got the look too. I mean, really, you would be a good face on the commercial. You really would.
Can I do it in more of a country voice? Welcome to Yamhill.
Yeah, I would say not.
Just so you know, yeah.
Just so
There's-
you know.
We've got lots of developing houses coming up. Move on through. No, but I love, so I think that's great. And then I'm assuming, sorry, and
Oh, yeah,
I'm assuming the beautification is the trees and the lights.
Yeah,
Right? I mean, that's what
trees.
like,
trees and other, like we've talked about in other meetings, we've talked about like, okay, where can we make an impact without having to get like huge investment? So where
Yeah.
are those spots where you
Right.
can do something small, like the flowers, like a lot cleanup, like a micro project? And again, I always think about Lillian's lot next door.
yeah,
That's prime. I think that the space between Larson House and the Sapphire Building, that could be a nice, like tidied up,
yeah, a little,
something just like a little mini cleanup spot. And a point of attraction or do something
Yeah.
there. So I think if maybe we could identify easy, bang for your buck.
So I was talking with the postmaster, the old postmaster of Yamhill, Michael Leclerc. He's my camping buddy.
Oh,
And I was telling him about your coffee shop that's getting ready to go in
Mhm.
and the property you bought. And I was telling him about the house that was a coffee shop that was next to the bank, that if you look at their deck on that house, it's really just falling down. I mean, especially in this last year, it has really degraded. And I told him about that and he goes, yeah. He says, I met the owner
mm,
and I said, okay, is he young? Is he old? And he goes, well, he's middle-aged, I guess. He's younger than I am. He's 73. So I would expect him to be somewhere in the 50s by now, but he said he had financial difficulties and was
I don't
looking.
know if that's great to be talked about.
Yeah, sorry. Anyway, so what am I trying to say? Long story short, I'm not even sure he's the actual owner of the building anymore. So, but we need to find out who the owner is so we can reach out to them and say,
I know who the owner is and I already talked to him this year, right before the cleanup happened.
oh, did you?
And I was told the plan is to fix it up this year.
great.
Is that Tom?
I don't
Not gonna say-
know, but I'm not gonna,
Okay.
I'm not gonna say the name.
Yeah.
And you fix it up to spell it or just
That's
at
all I know.
least
That's
put
all I was
some
told.
love
Just
into it?
fix it up. Well, even if they only
Start.
fix it up, it would help it from being an eyesore.
That's great. Yeah, so
And I was talking with Rocky Losley
what's his plan?
and, I just put a bug in his ear about, I said to him, I said, Rocky, you're not a young man anymore. And if you're planning on selling that house, maybe now is a good time to sell it. Because let's put it this way. Are you gonna spend the money when you're 6 feet under? I doubt it. And are you gonna give it to your relatives? I don't know. But maybe you might think about doing something with that property. From what I understand, this isn't the only property he owns besides his home. So I'm trying to push the chain uphill a little bit, and get people motivated. Have we found out anything about the county and the lot next door?
Still talking about authentic Yamhill, or what are we?
Yes.
What part of the agenda are we on?
We're on
Beautification,
beautification, since we're combining both into one,
right,
one page, but beautification is part of this. And so we were going through with like simple projects that can be dealt with. And so that got
Right.
into identifying.
Right.
So I guess we need to get back on track.
so that's why
Okay.
the old coffee shop needs to have its deck rebuilt and beautified or cleaned up or whatever.
Okay. And that does fit with then pursuing grant opportunities for paint, facade
Sure.
improvements, et cetera.
Absolutely. And then there's the lot next door that sitting there empty that could be utilized by
This thing right
somebody
here.
or something or someone or something. We could make it a mini park. I mean, that's if the county decides to sell it. And so we don't really know the disposition, do we?
What's the status?
They cannot sell it to us at this
Can they gift it to us? What?
point. No,
Okay,
they will not gift it to us.
Gotcha.
They probably could, but they cannot sell it to us at this point, but they have said before that they will offer it to the city before.
they offer to anybody
Yes.
else.
So they can't put it up for sale at all right now? Okay. Okay. Good to know. Is there any sense of urgency of trying to make sure that like certain codes are in place before I could?
That's why I was thinking we need to get down to what is Yamhill, because before all these properties are sold and fixed up, we probably want to have in place, these are the standards in which you
Yeah,
can build on our. So
Exactly.
that's the whole point of what we're trying to get to,
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
give
Yeah.
planning a clear picture of
Okay,
what we
And
want.
so-
And while I'm talking about beautification, I think livability actually falls within beautification. And livability would also include the walk signals that Jason has come up with and has purchased. And he's only waiting for ODOT's permission to have them installed. Are you guys familiar with any of that?
no. But
You
let's,
know,
okay, but let's stick, I think that's good to know, but I think as far as like our marching orders, because we are cutting it close here, about 15 minutes. So as far as our next steps to keep on agenda with authentic Yamhill, okay, so beautification is part of that, and I can see that with the determining, to make recommendations to the planning commission, we should probably give ourselves a deadline too on getting to that. So what's a realistic deadline, and then we can be back.
I mean, since we're gonna grab info from the YDA, when you
Mhm.
guys did that, right? I'm assuming you have that.
Am I permitted to email that out to everybody, Angie? Is that, or do I have to
So
present that?
information, is it information that you're wanting to send out? What are you?
This is the review, the information that we have from the YDA when we put together our kind of our plan, our strategic plan. And so we got the vision, kind of our vision, values, statement, description. And so it's kind of a multifaceted thing, but it's
It's okay to send information. The problem is when people start going back and forth about the information.
To
Because
it.
you guys are held under Oregon Public Meetings Law, and
Okay.
that's because you are an advisory committee of the council.
Okay,
And so serial communication is one of the issues, and that's
Okay.
people going back and forth in
Okay.
a forum over
Okay.
email. It's best if you're going to present a whole bunch of information, just to provide that ahead of time for the packet
Okay.
with the meeting.
okay.
So I suggest that we have a work session. And hopefully we can finalize this and get it ready for our next meeting on September 2nd. And then we can take it to the planning commission 2 weeks later. What do you think? The planning is scheduled for,
So is that a motion?
yes,
Okay. So
Um,
is there a second to the motion? Does anybody else want to do a work session in between?
I don't know that I can do a work session in between.
That was my only,
Yeah.
I can
have
if it's a random day.
Yeah.
Sorry, that sounds weird, but
No, I've got, things are getting kind of crazy with my job and I'm gonna be gone the entire last week of August for
So-
work. But,
Would by next meeting to have all the information together work?
yes. And then at the next meeting, we can use that meeting as a session to review. Okay, thanks for keeping us on track, Angie. This must drive you crazy. I'm sorry.
Angie, can we meet at like 1 PM? So we just like, we'll just do a 4-hour meeting. Will it be fine then? We'll just go real deep, real long, I'm just.
Okay,
messing.
God, I'm
It's
like,
gonna
I
be
can't
okay.
do
I
that.
was like, my lunch runs till 1:30.
There we go.
No.
What, we said, sorry, September 2nd is the next meeting.
yes,
Ours, okay,
Uh,
3 PM still.
yes, so far, unless we change it. 3 to 4:30 is what I got.
Yeah, so maybe we could just plan on a longer
Yeah.
session that time
That's
too.
fine,
Okay,
if it's good with Angie.
okay.
And you're just gonna get us, sorry, that part that confuses me. She can send out the information beforehand, we cannot comment on the information,
You
is that
guys can go
correct?
back and forth about
Okay,
it.
perfect, so you can send it out,
Discussions, have to be done in public, right?
cool,
And then we can do our homework though too, right? Before then,
Yes.
we're able to do our homework, so,
Ask questions, ask people what they want.
yes.
when is the planning committee meeting in September?
It's the third Monday of the month.
It's the.
Oh, so it's a while,
It's the
okay.
15th.
All right, so yeah, so in theory, if we get all this information together, have our econ meeting on the 2nd. Excuse me, we can present it to them on the 15th.
2 Mondays away from our economic development.
Sweet, and it gives us 3.5 weeks.
Okay. Yeah, so then if we, after our meeting, if we do need to do any fine tuning,
Mhm.
then we have time. Okay, good. That's great.
Yeah, and as long as we don't discuss whatever else we're putting together and you just, I mean,
Mhm,
if you're putting it together and present whomever is,
mhm,
then we're good, right?
mhm. So should
Okay.
we divvy up, okay, so research what other small towns have done. So we've got that research. So Robert, you can bring
I'm
that.
gonna go back and dig all that up.
Okay, and then, this will be to create our general template, so that is what we're gonna be doing
Yeah.
at the next meeting.
September,
So September meeting is template creation. Okay. And then the degree of detail, that's what I'm wondering. So Ken, what degree of detail is necessary for you guys to have from us, so then you can then take it and say like, here is, here's what applies or what doesn't.
The concern is from the business and the people that would push back against us attempting to have more control than we are allowed, is that it's not clear to businesses that may come here what the requirements are before they get in front of us and which way is the wind blowing today, because this is so loosey-goosey that we can't tell if we should drop all these plans or not. So they want to have something that is, they can draw some plans according to and feel comfortable that they are within, and not somebody going, I don't like brown anymore, we're tired of brown. So that's kind of from the business side, and that's what our planner, our city planner warns us against, is having things that aren't kind of codeable, you know, like I said, it has to be clear. And then, and I just wanted to tell Justin, one of the great accomplishments of the Economic Development Committee was the formula business laws. Right? Did she tell you about that?
Mm,
Well, Jenny said, wait a minute, we don't want Starbucks coming in and putting up their whole
yeah,
thing, or Dollar General. Starbucks can come in, we can't stop that, but we evidently can
they can
say,
build a wooden building.
yes, and you
Gotcha.
can't necessarily do your logo in your same colors and as big as you usually do it, no. And I forget how it's written, but it passed the muster of,
Cool.
yes, we can do that, and it's clear, and it's legal. So there is some, we have some ability to really push on what we want, but it has to be under those things I already talked about.
Perfect.
Makes me think we should also, you know, with all the codes that did just go through, I think that's important for us to have that as, you know, review that and reference that as well, because seeing if there is anything, because as I understand it, this would be then sort of like being added to code
Yeah, we don't want to be
recommendations.
redundant with it either.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, what we have now is what Walt is concerned about it. He thought what the people that were hired, the consultants, took it out. And I said, well, can we put this back in? He goes, yeah, I guess. And what it was, it has to be consistent with the, forget the exact words, but look of Yamhill that already
Mhm.
exists. Kind of squishy.
Yeah, yeah,
Kind of,
because what is the Yamhill look, which is undefined currently?
We have, yeah, which building do you want?
Yeah,
Is it all
exactly,
quite
yeah,
different?
yeah.
So he left it in and is hoping some sort of legislature review body that looks at it won't go, no. And I don't know when or how that happens, but I remember him talking about that there's a process that what we make up, it gets looked at by lawyers that say this is good enough or not.
Yeah,
Because they are defending, part of what they defend is the ability of businesses to have a playing field with the rules they understand.
So I think I'm still confused then about what's missing, because all the work that everybody did this past year, I thought addressed, and I know I kept repeating this at the meeting last week, so forgive me for just like still having a hard time following then. So how much detail then would be helpful? What is missing? Like, where do we fit with the?
I think the answer there is in what other cities have done,
Okay,
to see what their wording is, because I have not crafted, I don't know, but there could be things like roof lines, building materials.
Okay.
Architectural
okay,
style, it's still a little loose, but
okay.
maybe you can do better than style. Other cities have made this work. What do they have in their language?
Yeah, and when we like looked up Carlton, for example, they had specific things, but that was like, here's what is permitted, you know, and it's much more stringent because we have so many different things, and that's, you know, just what you're saying, it's like, we don't have like an existing look. So it's easy to say, okay, if you're building, I mean, here's the materials, but you know, the roof line. Because we've got just a mishmash. So going into the historic stuff, you know, it's just, I don't see how we'll possibly be able to.
Other cities have done it, so I think that's where you go.
Okay,
I don't see how it can be done either, Jenny, but since it's been done, that's a relief to go
Okay.
find it. I think it's
okay.
just.
And what I'll do is I will reach out, because I'm on this like email thing with the Oregon Main Street organization, the Yamhill Downtown Association. So people like, hey, we're looking for, does anybody have a code about this? Or do you have somebody and people respond, well, in our community, we're doing this, so I will ask who's got
And I would,
what.
yeah, and I would say we've walked the commercial lines, right? So you're really, really looking just for like, what has other cities' downtowns done in order to maintain their uniqueness? As opposed to like, the building codes for the homes that are not in our,
Yeah.
like, not in our area. Not in that,
Okay.
makes sense, you know what I mean? Cause you should be able to find that.
Okay,
The central business district probably, or
Yeah,
main downtown commercial zone.
I'll understand exactly what I'm doing later, my chicken scratch, okay. Great, right. But then as far as the business owner outreach. How, we've talked about Bob, Andy Bob. We've talked about Larson House.
Both restaurants.
Both restaurants.
And we're-
Mexican and, sorry.
I wrote down, we're asking them what competition is acceptable, is that right? Slash, are we asking them their opinion on what they would like Yam Hill to look like, downtown Yam Hill to look like?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
Yeah,
And if a new building came in, how would they feel it needs to be built and look like to fit in?
okay,
And we can do this one at a time. We can pick a place if you want. We can divvy it up or give it all to one person or whatever.
there's also, Bellwether Insurance, so I can talk to them.
Yeah, Julie.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm familiar with Julie.
yeah, okay, so Bellwether. T&E. Larson
And
House.
Heidi at Larson House.
I guess. Anita, who's got the brick building, I mean, we could talk to, Walt, Barbara Walt, I mean, I don't know if we want individual, is it more like the business owners who own the buildings, or is it business owners or just?
I would just say I don't even think you have to own the building.
Okay.
I think it's just
Okay.
what businesses are here
Okay,
and
yeah,
just talking to them.
yeah, okay, and then, Kobe and Sarah. Who own the Sapphire Building. Okay, the Mexican restaurant. Who else? Rocky?
That's more of a person.
I mean, I don't see why just the business owners would want to be involved in what they want downtown
Okay.
to look like, so I don't.
Okay. Okay, let's take it there. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 spots.
Did you include Mary?
Mary?
Mary, the antique store?
Oh, no. Okay. Okay. That's good. Anybody else? Okay, so who wants what?
I don't really know anybody, so I'll take whoever
Well, I'm
we all
familiar
don't
with
know, yeah.
Bob Landauer and his daughter that runs T&E. I'm familiar with the Larson House and her, because her last name is Davis, which is really strange.
She's married, that's her. So Heidi Davis. So do you,
I can do those two. In fact, I can do Bellwether too, because I just had Julie and her sister do a class for me at
Okay.
YNA. They
Okay.
did an insurance,
oh, that's
disaster
good.
insurance
Nice.
class.
Yeah, we have our ad insurance through them and the
Okay,
white and the
yeah.
Yamhill Downtown
Yeah.
Association as well.
So I can just,
Okay.
I can reach out to them. They're-
Okay,
they're
so-
very familiar.
So
with it.
Robert, you're gonna talk to Bellwether, you're gonna talk to T&E, and you're gonna talk to
Larson House.
Larson House.
And then you guys can have
Yeah, I can do, was it Fireside Grill?
Fireside.
Yeah.
That's right by my house.
Okay.
So we'll do that, I mean, near it,
And might as well do the Mexican.
yeah.
Okay,
And that leaves whatever else left for,
I'll talk to Mary, Antiques Mary.
okay?
I'll talk to Kobe and Sarah. And then, oh, we have the, tax person too, the tax
I
gal.
don't know her at all.
And she's sort of in and out, but, so I'll talk to Walt and the tax lady.
Okay.
Okay, so Jenny, okay, great.
Sweet, and then you're gonna give us that information
Yep.
for Authentic Yamhill somewhere, right?
Yes.
And I'll email everybody what I find in past minutes.
Perfect.
And then you'll get your copy of Song of Yamhill from, we have them up there in the city hall. Okay.
That's so exciting.
Yeah, Yeah. Hey.
For the record, is this a book?
yeah.
It is.
Okay, I thought this was a song, for the record, I'm
No.
really excited.
Angie, I gave my dad my copy. May I have another one as well?
Yeah.
This is
Thank you.
exciting.
They have $22.50 copies in the front lobby of the city hall for free.
Okay,
Yeah.
all
So
right.
you can't beat the price.
No, yeah,
Have you read it?
Yeah, I forgot most of it. It was an opera, it was an opera singer, wasn't it? One
no.
of
So
the,
what, yeah, where does this come from?
This comes from, oh my God.
The guy who owned the brick building that Anita
Yeah.
owns now, and then he had the business, so it was over at the, like, where the antique alley, the guy who
Right.
owned that wrote this book.
Okay,
And,
so
and
his
he's
story-
lived here and
if kids.
he's a singer.
thank
He
you.
was an opera singer
Yeah.
in San Francisco.
Zimmerman, and he's got all
That's
this
right.
railroad stuff, so upstairs
That's
in
where he gets
the
his name.
brick building, there's all his original business stuff and
Right.
all his train stuff.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right,
He is a train nut.
And
Okay.
the hotel, talks about the hotel.
Yeah.
Royal,
It was used to be here, oh my gosh, it was 4 stories tall.
4 stories tall.
Yeah.
Yep.
Livery Stable.
And it was one of 4.
And there was a wooden road from here to Portland.
Yep.
and this is all, sorry, this is all just Yamhill, the
Yes.
city?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yep.
all right,
Everything you ever wanted to know about Yamhill, but was afraid to ask.
yeah, yeah, I had no idea, this is fantastic.
And if you look behind you, you can see what really represents Yamhill.
Yeah,
I also have some boards in the garage, if you guys wanna look at the photos on that, of the.
Oh,
boards.
yes.
cool,
You
Oh,
bet.
yeah.
We
We
do
got
it.
this up and then
Yeah.
look, or.
Oh, sure, yeah, I guess. Okay, great. Well, look how excited we are, isn't this wonderful? Enthusiasm just doesn't quit. Okay, so, okay, so YDA report is, we're still revising tightening our standard operating procedures. There's a, Main Street, conference in October that we're gonna be going to. It's a mandatory thing, and so things are happening, our kind of local, there's nothing new going on, no new events or anything like that, but we are trying to decide like, okay, what is next? And I know that like Halloween is coming up and tree lighting and so, and then the lights for downtown, so that's kind of more like, and then bingo, so those are our main things happening right now, but we're really trying to just tighten and determine the operating procedures moving forward with what we do. So more to come on that as we develop it. And then with the September meeting then, okay, so for the plan for that, template creation for the
Mhm.
authentic Yamhill, and I think template, and then kind of prioritize the beautification. And
Perfect.
we're going to go away with our to-do list and be successful with our next discussion.
Sweet. Angie, can I get these, like this packet? Is that available somewhere?
Yeah, I can email it to you.
That'd be awesome. Thank you.
Just knowing it's in revision.
Yeah, no, I will, all in pencil, not in
It's a
pen.
draft.
Yeah,
Okay.
totally fine.
Okay, the meeting
So
is
I make a motion,
adjourned.
we adjourn.
Oh,
I second the motion.
meeting adjourned, 4:06 p.m.
Go look at some pictures.
Right.
In fact, I'm gonna take